Now, I am very excited to introduce our first presenter, Kadia Francis from Digital Jamaica. She'll be presenting on finding new money. Now, channeling her passion for digital, Kadia Francis launched the Digital Jamaica blog in 2018. 3 years on, and Digital Jamaica has blossomed into a full-fledged information exchange blog, featuring knowledge sharing, podcasts, live shows, bi-monthly webinars, which are all focused on the growth and development of technology in Jamaica and technical professionals. She put her money where her mouth is. In 2020, she quit her job to launch the digital disruption agency business with her partner, Monique McIntosh. Kadia's mission is to future-proof Jamaicans through digital literacy, skills training, and the facilitation of access to crucial digital type information. Ladies and gentlemen, none other to speak to you about a Digital Jamaica is our next guest, Kadia Francis. Good morning, Kadia. Hi, welcome to Wealth Summit. Are we so excited?
Fabulous.
Thank you very much. We're excited to have your presentation today. You can tell me right away, what will be the highlight?
Well, I'm actually, as you said, talking about finding new money,
Yes.
but I'm going to come at it from a different angle because my whole lane, which I stick to all the time, is
Yes.
digital.
Digital.
So I'm going to share with you how Jamaicans
Yes.
have been able to get online and earn money from their skills or their talent
Yes.
in the digital space. But first, I'm going to give you a little background about what facilitates that, which
All
is
right.
Web 2.0.
Aye.
So I'm going to give you a breakdown of what Web 2.0 is,
Yes.
and then I'm just going to go straight into what is the creator economy, because
Yes.
that's pretty much what we're talking about, what's involved in that, and how we can monetize our skills and talents to find new money,
All
right?
right.
By creating our own opportunities online.
All right, ladies and
So that's what
gentlemen,
we're gonna be talking
it
about.
promises to be quite an informative presentation. A presentation on the Digital Jamaica Web 2.0. Remember, iPad, Apple Pencil, Notepad, HB Pencil, anything it take, please take notes, TECH notes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kadia Francis.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Kadia Francis from Digital Jamaica. Digital Jamaica is an information and knowledge sharing platform around anything tech and digital. What we do is we promote, we inform, and we educate. Now, as Anna said, Digital Jamaica was started in 2018 out of a passion of mine to spread information, because as we all know, information tends to be at a premium in Jamaica, and I wanted people to be very aware of this, new thing to us, which was the digital space, and the opportunities that we could find and create for ourselves in the digital space. So in 2018, where's the presentation? In 2018, I quit my job, not in 2018, 2020, April 2020 last year, I quit my job and decided that I was going to go full-time into digital. Now, as we all know, this was the beginning of what would be a year-long, and we're still there, global pandemic. But something told me that this would be a good time to do what I've always wanted to do, which was to spend my time educating Jamaicans on digital. So that's what I did. And as it turns out, I was onto something, because a year on, Digital Jamaica is growing, and I've actually launched another brand called the Digital Disruption Agency with my business partner, Monique McIntosh. And so far, we have trained over 3,000 persons in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. We have developed courses and delivered courses for everyone from the Jamaica Observer to the Heart Trust. So clearly, there was a catalyst. The pandemic was a catalyst for many Jamaicans to actually explore new ways of being able to either preserve their businesses or to create new streams of income for themselves. But this was all made possible because of something that we call Web 2.0. So what is Web 2.0? It's not a new version of the web, but what it is an evolution in how we use the web, right? So we go from passive consumption of content on the internet, which was like static website pages where you would go to view information, but there was no interaction between you, the consumer of that information, and the creator of that information. So Web 2.0 has allowed what I called a direct communication between the creator and the consumer of the information. So it's more active participation, but not just that, you're also able to create and share on Web 2.0 as well. So what are some of the tools, Web 2.0 tools that facilitates this kind of interactivity? Well, you are very familiar with some of them. We're talking about social networks, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're also talking about search engines. So YouTube and Pinterest. Yes, YouTube is a search engine, is actually not a social media network, right? We're also talking about podcasts. So we also have a podcast, the Digital Jamaica podcast, where we talk to Jamaicans who have been successful in the digital and tech spaces just to find out how they did it, who they talked to, where they went, right? Blogs and wikis. You guys should be very familiar with Wikipedia. Wikipedia is actually a knowledge exchange platform where anyone can go on and put the information there, edit the information, add to the information, all of that. So all of these are what we call Web 2.0 tools because they allow us to interact with content creators. They allow us to participate in the sharing and the consumption of the content. And it also helps us to create the content, right? So where does the money part come in? Because I'm sure that's what everybody wants to know, right? So the economic aspect of all of this comes in because of what we call the new business model. And the new business model allows creators to earn money from their digital brand. In other words, as I like to call it, value profiting. So you're profiting from your talents and your skills and the value that that creates for, again, the consumers of that kind of content. So in a nutshell, this is what we call the creator economy, and it is all powered by Web 2.0 and the opportunities that we now have to share, to create, and to earn in that space. But who is a creator? If you guys are seeing the screen, I'm sure you all recognize this person. His name is Rohan Perry. We all know him as Quiet Perry, right? So some time ago, Quiet Perry got on the internet and he created this character called Patricia, right? And he would do short skits, or what we call comedy sketches. And through that, he was able to build a following on these different digital platforms. And out of the creation of that kind of content, a lot of opportunities has opened up for Quiet Perry. In fact, he has been able to make the transition off of digital into traditional media spaces and earn from both ends, right? But who is a creator? So clearly Rohan is a creator, but who else is a creator? Do you have to be a comedian? Do you have to be an artist? No. Anybody who creates content for digital spaces, who creates and publishes content on the digital space with an intention to earn from it, to profit from it, is called a creator. So if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, student, anybody with any kind of skill or talent that can be shared in the digital space and who can earn from that skill and talent, we call you collectively creators, right? Okay, so what powers the creator economy and creators? Well, it's the community. It's the power of the community. You can't be an influencer or a successful creator without the backing of a community that you have developed. So in truth and in fact, and for the most part, creators earn by leveraging their audience and platform for profit. So I go online, I build my personal brand around whatever talent or skill that I have. I attract persons to my platform with content, right? I develop a community that is interactive and active. And I then use my community in some way, and I'm going to talk about that when we go further to talk about monetization. I then use my community and my platform, how many thousands of followers that I have, and I can go to an advertiser or I can go to a brand and say, look at all the people that I have this audience. You want access to my audience, and you're going to have to pay for that access. So in truth and in fact, what you're leveraging is your audience and your platform. So let's look at Rohan Perry. In total, across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, he has a combined audience of almost 1.4 million people. That's a lot of leverage, right? 1.4 million people can earn you a decent enough living where you don't have to do a 9 to 5, right? So let's talk about how this is possible. And we're going to talk about monetization, because that's what we call it when a creator turns their content into profit. We'll call it monetization. These are the avenues or the strategies that you can use to earn. So there are two types of monetization: direct and indirect monetization. Direct monetization is really where you create the brand, and directly from the brand, you're creating something around the brand that you're selling directly. And I'm talking about a product. That's the first one. You guys may recognize this person. Her name is Christina Gonzalez, and she is a fitness instructor. And since the COVID, she has been on Instagram, and she has done collaborations with everybody from Grace to all sorts of different people. I think she did something with Jamaica Moves as well. And she is a bodybuilder, a fitness instructor, and she has created 876 tutorials. And what she's done is that you can pay her to join her Zoom fitness class, and you can dance your way to sexiness. Right? That's pretty much what she does. So she has created a product around her brand as a fitness instructor, somebody who's knowledgeable in that space. Another means of direct monetization is through sponsorship. Kalila Reynolds, everybody knows Kalila Reynolds. She is an award-winning journalist who has now turned her journalism prowess into $26 million worth of profit in the last year alone through her company, Kalila Ray Media, which is a digital media company. And what Kalila has done is created several different products, including taking stock, and people actually pay her, sponsor ads on her show, or sponsor her show, which is mostly broadcast over YouTube. So she has created a product, and persons are sponsoring that product because it's a quality product that people want. People are engaged in that. And she also has a very active community online. The other way you can earn directly is through what we call brand partnerships. So this gentleman here is Yannick Wright. Yannick Wright is what I call a super gamer. He's a Jamaican. He lives right here. And he plays games for a living. He has a Twitch account. He has a YouTube account with over 2 million followers together. He has 1-point-something million followers on YouTube. And what he does is he literally sits there and plays games and talk about games. And he has brand partnerships with about 4 different gaming companies, people who make apps for games, people who are involved in that gaming industry. And outside of ad revenues that he makes from YouTube, he also makes money through brand partnerships. The other way you can make money directly, this gentleman here is called Wellesley Gale. Wellesley Gale is the creator of myislandjamaica.com. It is, believe it or not, one of the most popular Jamaican websites, even more than some GOJ pages, because he's really good with what we call SEO, search engine optimization. And what Wellesley has done is he has turned his brand into products that he sells. So well as it kind of captures all of this, he has brand partnerships, he has products, he has sponsors, but what he also has is what we call donations, right? So what he has done is he has set up a Patreon account where persons who are interested in the type of content that he's creating pretty much pays him to create that kind of content every month. Right? So donations is another way, and this is donation that comes directly from your community. Your community will pay you for the type of content that they want to see. Creator economy, right? So these are just some of the ways that you can directly profit from your brand once you've been able to establish a brand online. But there are some indirect ways that you can also benefit. There are some indirect ways that you can also benefit as well. And this is through merchandise, or what we call merch. This gentleman here is Chevon. Chevon is the creator of Proud Jamaicans. I'm not sure how many of you know that platform. Proud Jamaicans combined, he has over 1 million followers across the different platforms as well. But what he has been able to do really well is sell merchandise. So if you should go on his Teespring store, he has a massive Teespring store. He has everything from doormats to tights to tops, just about everything, and it's all emblazoned with Jamaica something, right? And it's very popular because he is catering to a diaspora audience, and a diaspora audience that will fall for what we call nostalgia. He does what we call nostalgia marketing. So a lot of what he produces on his channel is talking about the good old days and being Jamaican and missing Jamaica. So he's bringing in persons who are living overseas but have a yearning for home, and through his platform they're able to connect back with their roots, right? And it has been very profitable for Chevon in that regard. You guys might know this lady, Shelly Ann Weeks. Had to include her in the presentation. Why not? Another way you can profit from your brand online through the creator economy is through events. So Shelly Ann Weeks is very popular in the digital space as Dr. Sexian. And through her brand, where she talks about period poverty, she also has events that she produces. So period parties and an annual pelvic conference, healthy pelvic conference that she does. And these are ways that she can make passive income from her brand as well, right? Another popular person on the digital space is Rushcam. And Rushcam is an attorney. That's his background. His background is law, right? But he decided to put that aside, and he's now what we call a social commentator. So he has his own YouTube channel, and he comes and he shares his ideas and his thoughts about different things, and he regularly collaborates with other creators, including Quiet Perry. But now he has been able to transcend the digital space into traditional media, and he's now the host of a popular TV series featuring other creators, right? Now they're all making money together in the traditional media space. So hosting and speaking engagements is another way that you can earn. And lastly, you can earn through ad revenues. And this lady here is Rochelyn. That's her name online. She's a YouTuber who makes money through ad revenues from YouTube. And this is the thing. There are some very familiar faces and popular faces in this group. So Kalila and Rushcam and Shelly-Ann. But I'm sure the other persons you may not have been familiar with, right? Rochelyn doesn't have a huge platform. She has, 40K, almost 50K persons on YouTube. But she has still been able to make a living. So what I want to disabuse you of is the idea that you have to have a massive following online to be able to earn from your skill or from your talent. There's another lady that's not on here. Her name is Patricia Reedwa. Auntie Pat would like to call her. She's 70 plus years old. I'm not going to give you her age, right? She's 70 plus years old. She has lived a lifetime. She has done so many things in her lifetime. Traveled. She has been a justice of the peace. She has done so many important things. But now she's moving into the next phase of her life, what she calls her second career, and that's digital. Auntie Pat, by just going online and talking and exercising her expertise, she has now been able to cop brand deals in terms of writing children's books, writing poems. Auntie Pat has been able to now earn a living through speaking engagements as well, and she's slowly building up her brand online. So I say this to you to say that anybody at any time can decide that, listen, I am a talented, I have been working in the public service for 30-odd years, 40-odd years, and I've acquired this much expertise on this one particular topic. And I'm going to go online and I'm going to turn that into a course, and I'm going to sell that course to you because you definitely want to know this if this is your field, right? You're instantly now a content creator who can earn from that knowledge base that you've accumulated over all this time. You're a doctor and you want to promote your new practice, or you want to get patients into your new practice. MD Link has been able to create an app that anybody here with any ailment can go on to book an appointment with a doctor over WhatsApp, get your diagnosis, get your medication, and go on about your business, right? So anybody in any space can decide to turn their digital skills, their talents and their skills into money online. But there are some benefits to this. There are a lot of benefits to this. But there are also some limitations as well. But let's look at the benefits before. With Web 2.0 platforms and tools, you now have easy access to the digital space. Once you have a smart device, a phone, a tablet, a laptop, and you have access to broadband internet at some speed, we're not going to talk about the providers all right? So once you have access to broadband internet and a smart device, you pretty much have access to everyone everywhere, right? And these social platforms and these search engines, and if you have a solid digital strategy, you can now create something from your own efforts and put that out there and invite a community of people who either share a similar interest or who wants to learn what you know, and you can make money from that. And you also have access to what I call new markets, because you no longer have to depend on a Jamaican market to sustain you. You have access to a regional and a global market. Anybody, anywhere in the world who is interested in what you have to say, what you have to share, what you have to sell, can access you through these digital platforms. And that's the beauty about online. You have markets to just about anywhere. It also cuts out the middleman. There's no longer a gatekeeper telling you that this is either good or it's not good. It's your community who decides the value of what it is that you're putting out there. Once you can nurture that community and you can give that community what it wants, then you're in the money, right? So there's no middleman, and it's also self-generated. It's really off your own consistent efforts in the digital space. So we have all heard of Dr. Patricia Reedwa, right? Can't talk about digital without mentioning her. Yes, she was popular before, but she has been able to make the successful transition online, where she talks about one thing really well, and is hosting and speaking. And through her ability to talk about these things online, she has been able to attract more clients. And now, recently, Dr. Patricia has been invited to give a TEDx talk. Right? Big deal, right? So it's self-generated based on your own consistent efforts. But these are the good things, and I can go on about all the benefits, of being online. But because we live in a culture that's not a digital culture, we're very traditional, doctor, lawyer, politician, probably police, we're very traditional in the type of careers that we can choose from, or that we've always chosen from. And because of that, there's a lack of digital infrastructure here. Whether that is because, again, limited access to broadband internet in some areas, or because we were just not familiar with the digital space in general, there's no infrastructure there that could give us an advantage then in that way. The other limitation is literacy. we have a digital literacy problem as well. And several reports have come out, especially now that COVID has been a thing, and we're talking about economic recovery because of COVID. A lot of the conversation is now centering around, okay, what are the digital skills that we need to give to our people to enable them to be able to compete in what is truly the digital era, right? And we have realized that we are 40 years behind in terms of, a wide digital skills gap, but most importantly, a literacy gap. The other big thing, and I know there are some bankers in here today, the other big thing is payment processing. It is all well and good for me to go online and create a book and self-publish my book, like Dr. Sexian, Shelley Ann Weeks has done. But then how do I collect payments for my creations? How do I collect payments for the content that I'm selling online? That's one of the biggest problems Jamaican creators in the digital space face. Because even though we do have some banks that do provide some payment processing services, it's limited. And it's the same onerous processes to access it. And there's also the cost factor that is involved that makes it cost prohibitive. When there are plugins on just about every CMS platform, I'm talking about like website platforms, that you can use to get payments, but it doesn't happen in Jamaica because, again, the infrastructure is not there. And lastly, antiquated and onerous banking processes. I had a conversation recently with a friend of mine. He runs the platform On The Road. On The Road is a popular YouTube, Jamaican YouTube platform that literally takes your own Jamaica and show you what's happening. And he got a check from YouTube for his ad revenues that he could not cash in Jamaica. He could not cash that check in Jamaica because the bank told him that he has to have a business account to be able to cash a YouTube check. So these are what we are talking about. We're talking about antiquated and onerous banking processes. And in a way, we are our own limitations in terms of what can be done in the digital space. So guys, even though these limitations are there, there are lots of workarounds that you can find in terms of processing your payments and attracting people and being able to market yourself online. So visit us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Digital Jamaica. You can find us on YouTube. We have a lot of conversations about these things and give you tips and stuff on our YouTube channel, Digital Jamaica. And you can visit our blog as well for more information. Okay, guys? What I want you to do is start shifting the way you think about business and about money. And when you're realigning and reevaluating what is possible, I want you to think digital. All right? Thank you so very much. Thank you to the ministry. Thank you to Shelley for having me here. I really appreciate it. All right?
Boy, if you're just joining the Ministry of Finance's Inaugural Wealth Summit, you missed the wealthy part. But not lie. That was a presentation by Kadia Francis of Digital Jamaica. But you're lucky, you're lucky. She's back after the presentation. She's going to answer a few questions for us. Kadia, thank you so much. That was such an informative presentation. I'm going to get for ear like people business. So.
Yes, yes. We recently did a podcast episode with Kalila Reynolds where she literally told us how she tried to shop these ideas to traditional media spaces, but there were no takers.
Yes.
And she just decided that, listen, I'm going to go do it myself.
Aye.
And $26 million later.
That's the kind of story you want to hear. That is a wealthy story.
That's the power of digital.
Yeah, man, that is a wealthy story. But, so, Kadia, for those who were watching and listening, iPad, Apple Pencil, notebook, HB pencil. I hope you were taking notes. I took a few notes, right? And the notes that I took summarized the ways that you can make money through digital initiatives, right? But these were on the personal level. So I'm gonna revise. I'm gonna recount these, and then you're gonna tell me how we can do it on the business level.
On the business
level, right?
Sure.
So there's sponsorship.
Yeah.
This is on the individual level where somebody can market their skill, talent, and time, right? So sponsorship. And there's donations, merchandising, events, hosting and speaking engagements, ad revenues, and deals. I was so impressed to hear about Miss Pat.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I say her, I think about him, but I talk about him. But so those are the ways that we can leverage our personal brand
personal brands.
for financial gain
Yes.
and ultimately for wealth.
Yes.
But for those persons who have a small business, right? How can they leverage their business? How can they put it out in the digital space more?
Well, you see, this is the thing. We think of these as, oh, well, these are just personal brands. No,
Right.
these are businesses.
Right.
The difference is the business is me. I am the business,
Yes.
and I'm selling myself or my services to other persons. But the same applies generally to small businesses, because there are a lot of Jamaicans with small businesses in the digital space. It's just about how do you use these digital platforms to become visible,
Yes.
and to become relevant in the online space.
Right.
And again, with access through your smart devices, through your internet, anybody anywhere can sell anything online. OnlyFans is OnlyFans for a reason, right? So anybody anywhere can put their market, even if it's a service or a physical product
Yes.
that you're selling. So there's a lot of Jamaicans who are very big in the beauty space. They make soaps, they make all sorts of different things from natural Jamaican ingredient products. They're doing very well. Online, there's Herbu, there's Favor, I think that's what their name is. There's Morgan's Creek.
Yes.
They're all
It's
doing
new.
very well online, right? Even businesses who have a storefront, or what we call a brick and mortar,
Right.
if they are able to tap into these digital platforms, we call that omni-channel marketing. So it's not just your storefront, but it's also your digital presence.
Yes.
Because if you're not online, your business doesn't exist.
Okay.
Literally, you could have 5 million stores. If you're not online and not in a position where consumers can find you, then you don't exist. So you have to think about consumer psychology and how that has also changed
Yes.
because of digital. If you're looking for something, where's the first place you go?
Instagram.
Or Instagram, right? You go to Google and you type it in. Or you go to Instagram and you search to see if there's a page or something that you can find.
Right.
That's why, you need to be where your audience is most likely going to be. And that's why right now what's happening is that a lot of these social networking pages, Instagram and Facebook, they're literally turning into an advertising machine,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So they are
So
now
they're taking over
developing
from
tools.
traditional media.
Yeah, they're developing tools that allows creators and small businesses to be better able to market and advertise, because where the people go is where the business
Where's
goes,
the
and where the
business go?
marketers go. And where are they? TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. TikTok is a new thing. Guys, I tell you, hashtag Jamaica is one of the most active hashtags
You
on TikTok.
mean hashtag oxtail?
There you go. So, and another thing too, what small businesses and even personal brands that are businesses can capitalize on is the popularity of Brand Jamaica.
Yes.
Brand Jamaica is exceedingly popular online. And what happens now is that persons now have access to Brand Jamaica.
Okay.
So Jamaican content, Jamaican products, all very popular online. So once you can tap into that,
Yes.
whether it's a small business or a brand, you're in the money.